Hey everybody, Cash Baggins here, and welcome to the channel. I'm going to be doing regular patch note reviews for Rematch, and this is the very first one. Today, we'll dig into Sloclap's post-beta communication, where they clarified what changed between earlier betas and the final open beta, and made a series of crucial promises for the future of the game. As to the format of these reviews, here's what to expect. First, I'll get into an upfront summary in what I call the scoreboard, which is on screen now. Then, we'll dive into the commitment tracker, where we categorize every change or statement as either in the net, meaning live changes, pitch side, meaning soon changes, and scouting report, meaning eventual or long-term changes. In later videos, we'll do status updates on prior promises using our accountability ledger. I'm scarred by Dark and Darker. Let's not talk about it. The goal here is clarity and accountability. No fluff. Let's get into it. First, the player positives promised for launch. Biggest one is the critical fix to the goalkeeper ghost goal desync, where it would just go right through you. And the second one is the overhaul of the mouse and keyboard pass aiming. Those are the two things to look forward to for launch. On to the concerns and watch lists. First one on there is the post-update patch notes. They said they'd do it once, let's believe them. The second one is the fact that there may be some core stability issues not fixed for launch, like stuttering and bugs. Guess we'll see. The meta shaker. I didn't play the closed beta, so I'm not sure. I'd say my guess from beta to beta is the fixing of the header spam loop, but for launch, I think since they're undoing the rainbow delay, that we'll see a lot of that. What do you think? And the ledger verdict from this communication, promising but watch list heavy. Sloclap is saying all the right things, and they've written a lot of checks. I guess we'll see what happens come launch. To the commitment tracker. This is where we categorize every single point to understand what to expect and when. First up, in the net. These are the retroactive patch notes for changes made between the closed betas and the open beta. These were already live in the open beta. Our first bullet point is defense. Goalkeeper invulnerability time was shortened after a friendly pass. The outfield dive was reworked and buffed. The speed of slide tackle was nerfed slightly at the start and end of the animation. And lastly, hindering or body blocking bug was fixed, so it now works consistently. In our second bullet point, gameplay and stamina, they standardized push dynamics and slightly increased its stamina cost. Volley taps are stronger, but the minimum duration was increased for better control. And stamina costs for dash and dribble were standardized to 0.75. And finally, in inputs and comms, they changed the default mouse and keyboard mapping and critically shifted from WASD base aiming to mouse aiming, which, as we'll see, was a core problem they're now fixing. And they also added some spam protection for in-game callouts. Next, the most important category for us right now, pitch side. These are the explicit promises Sloclap has made. Features and fixes they said they'll have in place for the launch of the game. This is the list we'll be checking off first thing on Monday. Grouping 1, stability and netcode. They've identified causes for client crashes, some linked to the anti-cheat, and say these will be fixed for launch. As to the netcode part of this group, this is a big one. The goalkeeper ghost goal desync, where you make a save but the ball passes through you like you're a ghost. Sloclap states both of these should be resolved for launch. In group 2, we're talking commitments around gameplay and input. The rainbow flick felt less reactive in the open beta as a side effect of other changes. They found a new way to balance it and say reactivity will be improved. And these last 2 points in this group revolve around inputs. This is a huge bucket. They've promised the broken mouse and keyboard tap aiming will be fixed with better sensitivity, and that full key remapping for mouse and keyboard will be available at launch. Finally, let's look at the scouting report. These are items that are acknowledged but are promised for after launch, or just being monitored. This is all about managing our long-term expectations. On the coming soon list, we have gamepad button remapping, which Sloclap claims will arrive in a patch shortly after launch. The option to use the old WASD aiming for mouse and keyboard is also coming in an upcoming patch. Then there's the high risk list, things that might not make it for launch. This includes stuttering at kickoff, goal replay bugs, and spectator mode bugs. They say if these aren't fixed for launch, they will be, quote, soon after. We'll be watching. And in the long-term monitoring list for Sloclap are things like ongoing netcode improvements and future changes to the dive and hindering systems. These are good goals, but not firm promises with a date. They also say they'll come out with a tentative roadmap for Season 1 on launch. So putting it all together, here is our official accountability ledger for Rematch. As you can see, the promised for launch list is short but foundational. The post-launch list is longer, which is expected for a small team. Our job is to track these items from promised to delivered, and that brings us to the final whistle. This communication from Sloclap is a masterclass in transparency. They own their mistake, explained the why behind the new bugs, and set a clear, tiered roadmap for fixes. They've bought a great amount of community goodwill with this post. I'm excited to see what their early access launch day communications look like in just a few hours here, and make the next video. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch it hot off the press. So my final verdict stands. Promising, but watch list heavy. Sloclap has a chance to stick the landing and prove they can deliver. And we'll be here with the ledger to track it all. That's it for this review. What's the number one promise on this list for you? What fix will make or break your launch day experience? Let me know in the comments below. And look out for early access launch day patch notes between 1 and 3 a.m. Central Time on Monday, June 16th. And no, I'll be working on the next installment in this series as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the pitch.